AnaSa. Η πιο όμορφη παρέα με τη Βασίλισσα, είχα πει κάποτε. Οι ιδιοκτήτες αυτού του μαγικού ξενοδοχείου εμπνέονται από την ιστορία και την ενέργεια του νησιού, δημιουργώντας ένα ξεχωριστό καταφύγιο χαλάρωσης. Στόχος του αρχιτέκτονα ήταν να αναπαράξει μέσα από το σχεδιασμό του την αθόρυβη μυστηριακή ενέργεια που πηγάζει από το ίδιο το νησί. Στηρίχτηκαν πάνω στην ιστορία αυτή, με αποτέλεσμα ο σχεδιασμός να υπηρετεί μια απόλυτη συνέπεια τους κανόνες της μοντέρνας μοναστηριακής αρχιτεκτονικής και των απλοϊκών αλλά στιβαρών υλικών της. I'm at the AnaSa Hotel.
Yes.
Mr. Sebastian WURST, the general manager. Thank you so much letting me here today at AnaSa Hotel, and the most important, letting the design show entering at this beauty. A really good friend and a kind person.
Thank you.
You're here 6 years now.
Yes.
It's an honor also for the owners having you in the team.
It's our pleasure to have you here as a friend and as a client, and I'm happy to open our house to you and your viewers.
Amazing. A house. We call it a house. But there is an amazing story about AnaSa Hotel.
There is. It's a dream come true. It's one man's dream that started in the 90s, and he was the late Alekou Michaelidis, the father of the 3 children that are now behind this company, and he had this vision of having this magical place in this magical part of the island, which is, I would say, the least developed, the most pure part, and it still is to a certain degree. So we like for people to come here so we can share the beauty of Cyprus and nature and have a relaxing and hopefully one-of-a-kind experience.
It's so amazing. For me, AnaSa, it's not just the experiences, it's the architecture, it's its own interiors, the vibe and everything. Let's talk about a bit about the architecture. It reminds me of a modern monastery. Am I correct?
Well, that was part of the inspiration, I think. The idea behind the design is sort of a quintessential Mediterranean design, which is timeless, which doesn't distract from the surroundings that we're in, which are so beautiful. So we don't want to have a sensory overload for our clients. And for them to enjoy what's outside of the hotel and what's on the ground. So it's a package of the architecture, the inspiration from different Greek islands, the nature, the indigenous plants that you find here. Pretty much it's like a ideal version of Cyprus and the Mediterranean.
We're very proud as Cypriots that Cyprus is a paradise island. So AnaSa reflects the idea of paradise in this hotel.
Yes, I think that's the idea. If you think about Cyprus as paradise and a place for people to get away from everything, to enjoy nature, to enjoy the Mediterranean sun, all of these dreams that people have. Consequently, AnaSa is sort of the quintessential hotel experience, resort experience that combines all of these things for our clients.
How do you define the word resort, and how do you define also the word luxury?
I think as a resort, the difference is, as opposed to a hotel, a plain hotel, that you offer a well-rounded experience that's not just providing accommodations and meals, and that's pretty much what a hotel does, but a real experience of the surroundings, that people really feel at one with the place where they are. To a certain level, it's self-contained, so you don't really, if you want to, you don't have to ever leave the place because everything you might need you find here. Luxury, I think the definition of luxury keeps changing. It's not all about spending a lot of money to decorate and to only provide the most expensive things. I think now luxury is more about providing space, quiet, and to anticipate really what the guest wants before the guest really even tells you about this. I think that's the secret to luxury. It's not just a matter of spending money on the hardware and on your buildings and on what you provide, but to give the guest the space and for them to be able to really not worry about anything, but for us to do the work.
What makes your hotel memorable and unforgettable?
It's really what happens here and what the clients experience that makes them memorable, and we're here to assist. We have many different types of clients. We have couples, we have families with young children, we have older people. All of these will take away different memories. And we're here to make each and every one stay special and unique. And I think that's our strength.
Do you think that there must be a philosophy behind a successful hotel like AnaSa?
Of course, because if you don't know where you want to be and what you want to provide, you will not succeed. So you need to have clear goals, and you have to know who you are. Now, whether you call this a philosophy or your goals or your policies, that's a different story. But I think you have to have a clear vision of what you want to provide. And you also cannot be everything to everybody. I think that's something you have to understand from the beginning, because then you don't have a clear personality and people don't know what you're offering.
What do you think your guests expect from AnaSa?
The best. We have a reputation not just in Cyprus but in the Mediterranean. We're very well known to provide a luxurious and effortless vacation where people can be themselves, where they can have their freedom, where they can relax. But also if they want to be really active, we provide this too. So our goal is to constantly exceed people's expectations and not just meet them.
As far as I know, all over the world, AnaSa created that reputation of its own, the name of its own, AnaSa. We're going to AnaSa.
Yes.
We never say we're going to visit the AnaSa hotel in Paphos and all that stuff. Do you believe that the location plays a big role in this, in the specific part in the name of AnaSa?
Well, I think AnaSa is a destination on its own, but it also is very important that there is a connection to its location. So yes, I think that the location does play a role, because it enables us to provide what we want to do. It's immaculate nature, beautiful surroundings, clear sea. And we don't want to be a place that could be anywhere in the world. There has to be definitely ties to the Cypriot culture and to local culture. But I agree, especially also for Cypriots, it is a destination. It's not like going to any other hotel in any of the other cities. They say they go to AnaSa.
So that makes it an original destination.
Yes, it's a destination in itself, I think.
And the other thing is that you come here, you park your car, and you leave after 3 or 4 days. So yes, they've got a lot of things to do in the hotel, staying at the hotel.
Yes.
What about the food here?
The food is
for me, it's one of the most important things to visit a hotel.
Yes, no, food is a very integral part. We take this very seriously, and also because we have guests that stay for quite some time. They don't just stay for 2-3 nights, they may stay for 2-3 weeks.
Yes.
So we want to offer them variety. Yes, lucky them, lucky them. And so we need variety because they want something, different. So we offer anything from the local cuisine, where you can taste the Mediterranean flavors and what's offered on the island, and the fresh produce and traditional dishes, to fine dining in our French Mediterranean restaurant, where you basically sit under a beautiful starlit sky and you enjoy harp music, and maybe you feel like sushi one night, and then you can go to our terrace and have sushi there, or enjoy a full authentic Asian cuisine in Basilico. So the goal is really to offer very, very sophisticated food for different tastes that gives you variety.
And the unforgettable beach party nights.
Yes.
Beach barbecue nights, actually.
Yes, the barbecue is also very, very special. We try to do some events throughout the week. Again, the goal is variety and some sort of entertainment. Speaking of entertainment, very important is music. It's a very important component for us. In almost all our dining facilities, we provide live entertainment with musicians from the area who are extremely talented, and they're really kind of part of our family here.
What other authentic local experiences will your guests have access to?
We actually created some unique, what we call experiences, where you can, for example, enjoy local pottery. We have a potter coming from Paphos that brings his wheel and shows the guests how to make their own pottery. We offer tours to the surrounding villages where you can see traditional cheese making. We offer some vineyard tours where they can watch the winemaker either harvest or make their wine depending on what time of the year it is. For the little ones, you can go visit a donkey farm. Donkeys, of course, are very essential also to the Mediterranean culture. There's something for everybody.
Does the name of the hotel play an important role in the brand?
Of course. AnaSa means queen in ancient Greek, and we're considering ourselves as the queen of the Mediterranean, meaning showing you the best that the Mediterranean and Cyprus has to offer.
What are some amazing things that your concierge can provide to your guests?
Well, hopefully anything that you can't accomplish yourself. That's the idea, that you have a request or a wish and we're here to provide it. And a lot of things happen very last minute, very secretively. For example, just a few days ago, we had a client that wanted to surprise his wife with 500 roses, which in a small island is not so easy to come by, but we managed. We had a beautiful arrangement waiting for them. It's all about, you know, special moments and help them create them. We have people come here to propose, so maybe we hide the engagement ring and present it at the right time and orchestrate the event so that the surprise is a success. Also, we go beyond the hotel. If people would like to have, I don't know, a picnic in the Akamas, we provide a chef and they go and serve there for them. And maybe they want to have the opportunity to catch their own fish, so we send them out with the boat, and you know, maybe it's a family. Boat trips, and the kids enjoy this, and if they catch their own fish, they come back to the hotel and our chefs prepare the fish for them.
Really?
Yes, so there are many, many things.
What is the atmosphere here?
I would say, if I describe it in short, it would be relaxed elegance. We don't want to impose things on people, but we want to keep a certain level of sophistication, so you understand you're like in a luxurious environment without it being too much of a, you know, confinement.
Interiors and art direction is very important to the philosophy of each hotel and in general at the brand of the hotel and the group also, comparing the other two hotels. How important is that?
It is very important, I think, because it reflects to the outside and at first glance what you want to actually represent, which is, when I mentioned casual elegance, that's sort of reflected in our style. I think it's also important to be timeless, that it's not a fad or a trend, because as quickly as a trend comes, a trend goes. So we want to be here for, you know, longevity and offer something that's timeless. I think another part of the design that's very important is that our furniture and our furnishings, they're all made locally, which I think is important in terms of the sustainability, but foremost also to support local carpenters and artisans to keep them in business and support them.
You've talked about trends. What luxury hotel design trends do you expect that we will see emerge over the next 5 years?
There's a difference between what we will see emerge here and what we see emerge globally, I think. I think technology, sustainability, all of these things, you know, this is not new, but it's something that will definitely be more and more important.
You also follow these?
We follow a lot of the sustainability rules. We try to be as sustainable as possible. Luxury and sustainability don't always have to be a contradiction. Trends, I think, for us is not so important. We're not a trendy hotel. We leave this to other people.
Managing AnaSa Hotel, which is, the best hotel in Cyprus, and not only. How important is for you to do that, and how difficult is for you to do that?
I think it's an honor to do it. I know the position and the value of the hotel for the island and the country, so I'm very honored to be doing this.
I have to say, sorry, you left New York.
Yes, I left. We always jokingly say we left New York to come to
Cyprus.
Neo Horio is where we live, the new village. So it was quite the change for the good. very happy. And it's really great to be part of this and also to see the hotel grow and see it keep its very strong position on the island. And because as far as difficulty, you said how difficult it is.
Yes, I mean each day.
I would say
each day.
It's not difficult. Some days are challenging, but that's what makes this job interesting and fulfilling. If you didn't have any obstacles or challenges, it would be very boring.
So what are the surprising things that inspire your work?
It's mostly the guests, because you get to really interact with a lot of, and I'm trying to do this even though I'm like sort of the boss, but it's very important to be on the forefront and be with the guests to see what they feel and what they like and how they react to things. I'm not an office person really, and this is what provides, you know, you work with humans and you work with people as your guests as well as your team. So this is usually what provides the challenges and surprises.
What was the first impression landing in the island?
Well, the first obvious impression was the weather. I arrived here in January from freezing cold New York, and for me, of course, this was extremely balmy and beautiful weather, which, of course, now that I'm a local,
yes, now you're
I
a local.
consider it cold in January. But I think it's in general, it's the way of life, and it's a little bit, you know, more relaxed and a bit more free, and again, the quintessential Mediterranean experience.
Do you think that COVID thing play a massive role for travelers?
Of course.
Visiting AnaSa?
Yes, I think not just for AnaSa, I think in general. I mean, there's still a lot of restrictions. People cannot travel at wherever they want, or they can, but there's a lot of obstacles as in testing and vaccinations. And I see we're on our way out there, like the last few weeks really have been very positive. We're definitely not past this for sure. But I mean, travel, I think, was probably one of the industries that was most affected by this.
Things are getting better.
They are better. We see this every day. They're getting better. People definitely want to travel. They're very keen. I think we're also going to see very high quality visitors because there's some sort of pent up demand. People were not able to travel, so now they want to spoil themselves a little bit, and I think it will be high quality guests.
Very often you have very famous guests at the hotels, at AnaSa. How do you treat these special guests, let's say, and in a matter not to be, you know, these are very famous, you have to do that and that and that and that, but you always, I believe that you always treat them as a normal guest.
Yes, I mean, it's very important because you don't have to be famous to be treated well here. This is very, very important. Of course, sometimes it creates a little bit of excitement about this among the staff if there's a celebrity coming, but in general, you treat them like anybody else, and some of them want to be very sort of unrecognized and they don't want to have any fuss made about them, just like other guests too, and some need a lot of attention and extra extra attention, and just like any other guest too.
Yes. What is the percentage of Cyprus guests here?
It varies, of course. In the summer, we're a very popular destination,
yes.
And especially on the weekends, people like to spend long weekends here. So I would say in the summer months, it's probably around maybe 20%, 20-25.
As I remember last year, I was visiting you here. I mean, during COVID period again,
yes.
and especially August. It was like Nicosia moved to
That was
AnaSa.
very particular. This is not how it usually plays out in the summer. So last year we were very fortunate. We had a lot of support from local guests, which was nice to see.
What makes me always this amazing impression is whenever I come here, you're fully booked, but you never see the guests around and all those people all in one place.
You're asking yourself, where are they?
Where are they?
Yes,
always. And you are fully booked.
Yes, well, that's the beauty of AnaSa, as I mentioned before when we talked about luxury. Luxury is also giving people space, and I think this is what we accomplish well. It's a large property in terms of the area that we cover and the space that we give to our guests. So even if we're at full capacity, you can still find your own spot in your privacy and be on your own if you want to.
Even at the beach. So I left this question for last. AnaSa Spa.
Yes.
Unforgettable. It's, for me, architectural and design-wise, it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Thank you.
Tell me a bit words about AnaSa Spa.
Well, the spa is obviously a very important part of what we offer and not just an amenity. It's part of the relaxation that guests are looking for. One of the special things we're doing is we're bringing in thalasotherapy, meaning we bring the water from the sea and offer some treatments with this, which is quite unique. It's also always a work in progress. We never really rest on our laurels. There's always new, here we go again with the word trend, emerging in the spa world. So you have to go beyond just providing a facial treatment or a massage. People are looking for something more complete now. And this is also something that we're obviously trying to offer. Again, with a Mediterranean flavor.
Would like to thank you so much.
It's my
you,
pleasure.
even the family, Thanos Family Hotel, letting me be here at this beautiful suite and walk around the hotel.
Yes.
And I hope that you keep doing this, always amazing, as the first time.
We can always get better, and I'm
Yes.
kind of excited that you're sharing this with your viewers, and hopefully we'll be able to have the pleasure seeing some of them at AnaSa.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much, Sebastian.
My pleasure.